What's up, guys? This is Kephas, and before we get out of Westfall, I thought we would do one little, last quest line that's here that I thought was pretty cool, and it's down here in the bottom left corner of Westfall. It's the Lighthouse quest line with the ghost. If you remember, we got that quest back in Sentinel Hill. There was a guard that was telling us about a ghost or something at the haunted lighthouse, and I just kind of wanted to do this before we headed out of here because I think it's kind of neat. So basically this guy died, Captain Grayson, and he wants us to kind of, you know, fix the problem that led to his death. We also have another quest where we want to where we're looking for a treasure, so we're going to do both of those quest lines today. And yeah, I just thought it was kind of a neat little side quest. It doesn't really go anywhere, and that's kind of why, like, when I did the lore episode about Westfall, which is a lot of fun, I didn't really feel the need to add that in because I didn't, I need some of my pet. I didn't really see the quest go anywhere, which was kind of disappointing, but we will go through it here just to see if I missed anything. Perhaps maybe there was like a final quest or something that I missed, but I just thought it was kind of fun. So, whoa, Murloc's attacking me like crazy. Not today. So as soon as I can get a chance, well, I guess I can go ahead and summon my pet now. Here. Get back here. There we go. There we go. Alright, so we got Gus. Gus is the name I went with, by the way, for the Void Stalker. And yeah, so alright, so now we're perfect timing with that guy showing up. I think that was the old merc guy I needed to kill for one of the quests. And he was conveniently right here. It's actually kind of nice. I remember some of this. A lot of it might even be a callback to the old quest lines that you did here, because there were some quests that you did, and I think that's why it was all left in. I just kind of like I kind of wish it would have gone somewhere more. I don't know, like a conclusion or like a side story, but maybe, like I said, maybe it did, and we'll find out. But yeah. So anyhow, how you guys been? I've been having so much fun with Warcraft. I've been playing so much of this game, just between like the end of the expansion, making tons of gold with the Order Hall, leveling up more alts so that I can get more alts out with their Order Halls, so I can make even more gold, and working my way towards the cap of the Blizzard Bucks cap. I want to try to max that out and then get myself a nice surplus of gold ready for Battle for Azeroth, because when that happens, I'm going to have to find new ways to make gold. And man, I really need to get this macro under control with my pet. And also, while I've been doing that, I have kind of figured out Survival Hunters. I will be having a macro guide for them soon, so keep an eye out for that. I know people were really excited about that. The unfortunate thing about Survival Hunters, the macro works fine for what it is. It's a simplification of the class. Look at old Murkai already up again. Let's just kind of ignore him. But the problem with Survival Hunters macro isn't so much the macro, it's the class. Because quite honestly, the class itself is quite broken. And it's fun to play. Like, I'm having fun leveling with it though. Especially with the macro, because the macro takes out that complicatedness and it allows me to just run around as a melee hunter with a pet, harpoon enemies like this, bam, and I'm right in the fight, sending down a murder of crows. And so as a leveling spec, if you're not comfortable with like ranged play, dang it, I keep doing that. What's happening is I'm spamming away at my macro, and I've got a pet attack going, and that's why it keeps sending the pet out to the next enemy, because it keeps targeting something after I kill it. So while I spam it, that's just an example of how you got to watch out with these macros. But it's actually quite fun to run around on this character as a survival hunter with this macro, you know, like I said, because it takes away that difficulty, allows me to kind of focus on just playing, and it's actually really fun to do. I'm having a lot of fun doing it right now. So that tells me that the macro is serving its purpose, even if I'm not getting like max DPS out of it, because freaking dude, like I said, the problem with survival hunters as a DPS class is, you know, if you want to get the most out of your hunter, don't play survival. And not because survival hunters can't do DPS, it's just that the effort that it takes to do it is so high, and the reward just isn't there for that effort. You can do other specs and do much less effort. And I don't even mean effort as in challenging or fun. It's just the spec is new. It's very reminiscent of like old play, I guess, which isn't a bad thing. Well, I mean, it is and it isn't, because, you know, like the game's old rotations and play styles were a little bit incoherent. There was just a lot of random abilities, and there was a feel, but there really wasn't much of a flow. And that's kind of how survival is. You've got like tons of dots. Depending on what your talents are, you get even more dots that you have to worry about, and it just gets pretty crazy. And then you've got this other phase with the mongoose bite. Ooh, we are... Oh, no, we're not. I don't know why I didn't loot that, but...
That is not mine to take.
It's not hers to take for some reason. Also, her voice is weird. I just realized how weird the Void Elf voice is. But anyways, so the rotation is slightly incoherent in that it has two things to focus on, which really kind of feel kind of weird. But I get the idea and what they thought was going to be a lot of fun. And I hope that they do, you know, I hope they learned. Yeah, obviously they did. I mean, they always do. And they improve on it next time. And I hope they don't abandon the melee hunter, because I think the idea is cool. And I think the idea around mongoose bite is okay, but I also think that it's the problem with having like a phase, like I feel the same way about shadow priests. When you go into void form, it's very similar. I mean, the way you do it and how it works is different, but the problem with having your rotation built around a phase, I think, is that it makes the downtime less fun, if you know what I'm saying. Like, so if you have, like, say, like, you're, in this case, a survival hunter is built around getting to mongoose bite phase, and what happens is when you use mongoose bite, it has 3 charges. When you use it, you start with mongoose fury, and that means that during mongoose fury, your mongoose bite deals more damage. So basically, during mongoose fury, which lasts for like 14 seconds or whatever, mongoose bite does more damage, and each time you use mongoose bite, it stacks up to 6 times, increasing the damage for it. So it's like this snowball rolling down a hill, and you're trying to apply more stacks of mongoose bite or mongoose fury and do more mongoose bites to get the most out of it, which is fine. But the problem is during the downtime, you're basically focused on applying the dots that you have. Like, you've got Lacerate, you've got Caltrops, if you've taken that talent, or Steel Trap, whatever you're using. And then if you do Mok'Nathal Tactics, which is this one here, which I don't go with because of its complexity, I go with a simplified version, then that adds another dot that you need to focus on. So it just adds all these dots that you want to try to keep up. But then, because of how important Mongoose Fury is in getting those stacks up, you basically abandon the reapplying the dots until after that phase ends. So you completely switch up what you're doing. And I don't know, some people might like that. I think it could use some work. And so, like I said, it's not really, to me, applying dots isn't really fun unless you're doing it to like a lot of targets, for example. Like, so when I'm playing my Shadow Priest, for example, it's fun to just pull a bunch of ads with all the dots and then watch them fall all at the same time. That's kind of neat. But when it's just one target and you're just like applying and maintaining dots, to me it's just not, I don't like that. I don't find that gameplay to be particularly fun. Not as much as like Holy Power or combo points. But you know, and then of course there are dots there, and that can get kind of repetitive too. So like, but I think that having a consistent flow, rather than having like, oh, a build up and then a special phase and then a downtime, I think that is fun for a second when you're during that phase, but then the downtime is really boring, and I think that's why I don't like playstyles based around that. That's just my personal preference, though. But anyways, we'll see. Whoa, did you see that slime just kind of turn into that the void thing? That was kind of neat. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and equip that because it's better. So anyways, we're collecting slimes for the ghost guy to get to light the fire. And this is an example of where I was slightly disappointed with this questline, because, you know, there's this whole thing here. This is like a big elemental catastrophe that happened because of the cataclysm, and there is a shaman here that's kind of like studying all this stuff. So like the elements here, as with a lot of places all over Azeroth after the cataclysm, the elements are out of whack, and those slimes have popped up. But you really don't go into what's going on and what that is, and if we can fix it. And it's one of those things. It's just kind of like, it's kind of weird, but it looks kind of cool. So I don't know. I just kind of like was hoping that we would kind of, learn more about that. So I guess we should just keep going up and finish this treasure hunt, because I don't think we're going to go back up here. I'm not sure. We'll see. But anyways, it's kind of a neat thing that's happened to the zone. It kind of, because like, what is this zone called? Westfall is very, dead zone. It used to be a very lush zone. If you've ever seen the Warcraft movie, there's a scene that shows Westfall as it was before it kind of started to suck here, and it was beautiful. It was like, it was almost like Valley of the Four Winds, but even better. But more like Valley of the Four Winds has giant veggies. This was like a giant wheat fields and stuff like that, and it was just really cool. So, but then things kind of went bad, and it kind of turned into like this wasteland. Like, there are still farms around, but it's just not what it was. And then Cataclysm happened, and it destroyed this big bunch of land over here. And, you got to think that there's got to be a way that we can fix this kind of stuff. And I would love it if the world ever does change again. I mean, I don't know if it ever will, but, like the idea that, we heal the world, we fix a lot of this stuff. And, ooh, got knocked off my mount there. I hate when that happens. That's about, by the way, that's about what it feels like to me going on the downtime on a spec that doesn't have that's on its off phase. It's like getting knocked off your mount. It's not fun. It's just very sad. It's like, oh, we didn't want to go down there anyways. So thanks for that, Knowles. As I run through more Knowles, increasing the chances for me to get knocked off like that. It's all right. We can use the EXP. But yeah, so yeah, I as I'm going through all these zones, it's there's a lot of talk about the Cataclysm, which makes sense because that was the change of the world, and it has a big impact on the world. And one of the things that I do like about the Cataclysm is it's referenced in throughout the zones, at least the starting zones that I've done so far. And I will get into, obviously deeper zones. I'm just kind of trying to cover things in order. So I'm getting all the starting zones in, and then as zones kind of merge together, or as paths kind of merge together, then I will, obviously move on to the next level of zones. I just didn't want to go back and forth. But anyways, from the zones that I've done so far, I've noticed that, the Cataclysm is very well woven in throughout the story, because it does play a part in what's going on. But, it's more about not so much the Cataclysm itself, but what the Cataclysm has led to for the zones, and what the storylines are in those zones as a result of what happened with the Cataclysm. And I think that's a pretty good way to do it. It's not all like heavily focused on the Cataclysm and Deathwing or whatever. There's some Twilight's Hammer stuff here and there, but mostly it's just that, hey, this event happened and it's leading to new problems. Whoa, now watch it, easy. Okay, so but I think it's kind of neat how that's done. So, okay, one of the things we probably want to do right now is we would probably want to switch our mount, if I can remember what my mount button is. And we want to use this guy right here. I really need to put him on my hotbar. You know what? I think I will for a little while. Trying to grab him. Let's put him here. Right there. No, right there. There we go. Now, this will help a little bit because we don't want to have to swim. That's ridiculous. All right, this will be a nice little shortcut. So we're going to go over here and get this treasure, which again, this is another storyline little side quest that I thought was kind of neat, but it didn't really lead to anything story-wise. And I tried to do some research on it, which I just try to get some more information outside of what I know, and I couldn't find anything about who this treasure might belong to. I don't know if it alludes to anything from the world before, but anyway, somewhere around here There's this little shack here, this island, and here's the treasure. You can see that there are bones near it. So I don't know if that is the person that this treasure belongs to or what's going on there. But anyways, we turn it in and we get a bag and nothing too great. Silver bar, shirt, which is nice. If you haven't gotten this shirt, you'll want to come do this. It will unlock that for you. So yeah, check that out. Why don't we go ahead and equip our shirt? I don't know what it's going to look like, but we can always transmog it off. But there we go. Well, you can't really see it, but I think it added like little shoulder things or something. No, it's added. Didn't really add anything. It's like kind of hidden underneath, I think. But alright. So, anyways, we got the treasure. We need to go back to the lighthouse. Alrighty, so we are back here. We're going to go ahead and turn these 3 quests in. And that might give us a level. We will see. Give us... I gotta choose potions. Man, remember when potions used to be really important? Like scrolls, those buff scrolls? It's crazy. Brings back memories. Oh yeah, also if you want a torch weapon you can hold in your offhand, you also want to do this. I'm not sure if you can get any other ones. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Just 3 quests. And a little side quest to do. It was kind of neat, kind of quick, short and sweet. To be honest though, I didn't even get a full level from doing all that because I was just fresh. We are at 33. I had just hit 33 when we started this episode, and I didn't even get a full level. I almost got a full level from doing it, but it wasn't quite. So I got about 90% of a level at 33 doing this. So it's up to you if you think it's worth doing. It wouldn't be so bad. Of course, I wouldn't have had to go that far if I hadn't done the treasure chest thing. So maybe the treasure chest part isn't really worth it. But this part of it, at least, you could come do. But it is kind of out of the way, so it may not even really be worth doing if you're just trying to level. But anyhow, I thought that was kind of a neat little quest line to do, to check out. I just kind of wish that, you know, maybe there was one more quest where you send him to peace. Like, you set his soul free. You light the lighthouse, you go inside and light the lighthouse, or I don't know, something. I guess I didn't miss anything. But anyway, I thought I'd show that off because I thought it was kind of neat. But next time, we will be heading to Loch Modan, and then from there, we will look into where we should go next. But I will see you guys on the next episode. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. You can also subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter at TheKephas to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, this is Kephas, until next time.